Musical icon Celine Dion has been in the spotlight for decades, and from time to time, that included her personal life. Here's the truth about the superstar singer's marriage to her late husband, Rene Angelil. Dion was 12 years old when she was discovered by a manager who just so happened to be Rene Angelil. She reminisced with People magazine and recalled that her brother had discovered Angelil's name on the back of a record and, as such, took it upon himself to send him a recording of Dion's singing. Angelil must have been hooked because he asked Dion to come sing for him live. She told the publication of their first encounter, "While I was singing, he started to cry. I knew then I had done a good job." So who was Angelil? According to the Washington Post, Angelil was a pop singer himself in Canada before turning his attention to management, and in all the years of being in the industry, he shared that he'd never heard a voice like Dion's. He told the Associated Press, "At that time, I had been in the business for 20 years. In those 20 years, I had never heard someone like this little girl I had in front of me." Angelil was taken aback by just how show-stopping Dion's voice was, and he was so dedicated to making her the world's next superstar that he made a bold and very risky move. According to Us Weekly, Angelil mortgaged his house in 1981 in order to pay for Dion's first album, clearly indicating just how much he believed in her potential stardom. It was, of course, throughout their time working together that things turned romantic between Dion and Angelil, and when Dion was 19, the pair went on their first date. It was 1987, and Dion was absolutely taken with her manager. The superstar later admitted that she and Angelil had been dating for about a year before they went public. Speaking about their early relationship, Dion told CBS News that Angelil was the only man that she kissed, and that he was not just her partner, but that they, in her words, were one. After calling him, quote, "the only man that I loved," it's pretty clear these two were meant to be. Dion and Angelil got married in a lavish ceremony in 1994. According to Vogue, the singer admitted that her mother really wasn't supportive of the wedding at first, given the couple's 26-year age difference. But it certainly didn't seem like anything was going to get in the way of Dion and Angelil's love. It seemed like Dion and Angelil were destined to complement each other both in the professional world and in their personal lives. As their marriage and professional partnership evolved, Angelil became instrumental in Dion's career, and it's not hard to see why. According to Hello Magazine, Angelil was a force when it came to music management, and he had helped the superstar along the path of her young stardom. Under his management, Dion won the gold medal at the Yamaha World Song Festival in Tokyo and went on to release a gold record in France, a first for a Canadian singer. Jump forward to 1991 and Dion's English-speaking album Unison became a hit, and the song Where Does My Heart Beat Now projected her into the spotlight. Of their professional union, Dion said, "I'm not surprised that we married each other because we have the same dreams." Nothing is scarier than watching your spouse go through a health crisis. That was the scenario in which Dion found herself in the late 1990s when her husband was diagnosed with cancer. According to USA Today, doctors found a lump on Angelil's neck in 1998, and he was later diagnosed with malignant throat cancer. At the time, Dion said of the situation, "We have asked doctors many times how long does he have, 3 weeks, 3 months? Rene wants to know, but they say they don't know." In light of her husband's health, Dion announced that she'd be taking a break from her career to not only care for him, but to take some much-needed time off.
The fact that I was sick made it even more real that it's time to stop and enjoy each other and our families.
According to People magazine, the late 1990s were a very demanding few years career-wise, and a talented singer was looking to take time off to focus on her personal life. Discussing her husband's condition, Dion said that the news, including the 2 operations and radiation that came with the diagnosis, hit her, quote, "so hard, but she was trying to find strength in the face of hardship."
First time in my life, I felt like I was needed. It made me feel great.
Celine Dion made a name for herself as the woman whose voice could make angels weep. Her anthem, My Heart Will Go On, was released in 1997 and still stands today as one of the most successful pop songs of all time.
When the curtain comes up and they hear, it works.
But for all the emotion that Dion included in her songs, she and her husband also had an incredibly difficult aspect of their personal lives that made the headlines: their attempts to have a baby.
We tried 4 times to have a child. We're still trying. We're on the 5th try. And I tell you, if 5 is my lucky number, this 5th try has got to come in. Right?
As CNN reported at the time, Dion and Angelil had their first child in January 2001, and their happy news was the result of in vitro fertilization, which is known for being an incredibly emotional process. Despite the difficulties that went into their journey, Dion and Angelil welcomed Rene Charles Angelil. A spokeswoman for the couple announced that both the baby and Dion were, quote, doing absolutely well and are in perfect health, and that the couple had the great joy of announcing the news to the world. Dion's sister later told Canada's RDI News channel, "It is extraordinary. She is doing great." Dion and Angelil continued to work together professionally, and Angelil was instrumental in solidifying Dion's presence in Sin City. According to Hello Magazine, Las Vegas was faltering in the early 2000s, and it was Dion who helped revive the city's showmanship reputation and economy. Her residency at Caesar's Palace was an admittedly dicey move, but Angelil was confident that the deal he secured with the hotel would pay off. According to People magazine, Dion returned to the music scene in 2002 after taking a number of years off to focus on her husband's health and the birth of her son. But after she released her album A New Day Has Come, the announcement of her residency shortly followed, which marked the start of a 5-year-long period during which Dion became a Vegas fixture. Dion certainly benefited from her residency, but she admitted to NBC's Nightly News in 2015 that it was a risky move at the time. She explained, "A lot of people, especially in the industry, they thought it was a very high risk. But you take chances and you go for it. I'm more than glad that we did it." Most couples have years that stand out to them, whether for good reasons or bad. And one of those years for Dion and Angelil was 2009. First and foremost, Angelil had yet again another health procedure. According to the Las Vegas Review-Journal, the music manager had to have a heart-related operation due to a blocked artery. Insisting to the publication that it was not heart surgery, the couple's publicist noted that Angelil's procedure went well and that he was back home shortly thereafter. Of course, that wasn't the only hurdle that the couple faced in 2009. According to the Sydney Morning Herald, Dion tragically suffered a miscarriage just 10 days after she announced her pregnancy publicly. Her spokeswoman confirmed the news. The miscarriage came after an unsuccessful round of in vitro fertilization in July 2009, and despite the horrible setback, the couple had plans to try for a third round of IVF. After their pregnancy loss, Dion and Angelil announced in May 2010 that they were expecting twins. According to the New York Daily News at the time, Dion and Angelil made the announcement once Dion was 14 weeks pregnant. In the wake of the news, Angelil told people that they were very fortunate to be expecting twins. He said, "She was hoping for one baby, and the news that we are having two is a double blessing." At the time that Dion became pregnant with the twins, she and Angelil had been through 6 rounds of in vitro fertilization. The singer had also taken steps like acupuncture to increase her chances of getting pregnant. In 2010, she said on The Oprah Show, "I will be the happiest one to tell you when I'm pregnant." That appearance was about 3 months before she got pregnant with the twins. The boys Eddie and Nelson Angelil were born later that year. Rene Angelil had numerous health concerns, and by 2014, his throat cancer returned. According to Hello Magazine, Dion canceled her Vegas residency as a result, but eventually made her way back to the stage without her husband by her side, as he insisted that she carry on with her singing career despite his health. After her return to Vegas in 2015, Dion gave a press conference during which she talked about Angelil's prognosis. She said, "I am scared of losing him because it's bad. But I have to show myself, my husband, and my kids that I'm strong and we're okay. I didn't want to be here at first. I don't need it. Don't get me wrong, I love singing for people, but I have priorities." Dion shared that all 3 of her children and Angelil insisted that she return to the stage, and in light of that, her songs suddenly had new significance to the storied singer. During the press conference, Dion explained, "Songs have a new meaning now. I sang them, but now I mean it. To me, they'll be different songs. To you, maybe not." The world's heart shattered for Dion when her husband passed away at the age of 73 on January 14, 2016. The two had shared a beautiful marriage and had proven to everyone that Hollywood romances could last. Dion confirmed the news on her website, stating that Angelil had passed away at home in Las Vegas, quote, "after a long and courageous battle against cancer." Asking for privacy at the time of the announcement, Dion's statement concluded by saying that more information about his passing would be provided with time. According to USA Today, Angelil had been sick on and off since 1998 and had spent the last 2 years of his life relying on a feeding tube. Dion told the outlet that after he had a number of operations in Boston, he came back home to Las Vegas to spend his last months there. Calling him, quote, the only boyfriend I've ever had, Dion was incredibly open about her last moments with Angelil. She admitted, Rene says to me, I want to die in your arms. Okay, fine, I'll be there. You'll die in my arms. While Dion has certainly continued to thrive professionally since her husband's passing, she's made it clear that she isn't looking to date anytime soon. During an appearance on NBC's Today Show, Dion expressed that going through her husband's death was, in her words, quite something for her and her children, and she has grown from the experience and from her husband's love as a result. She explained, I feel like Rene has given me so much through the years and still today. I see my kids, I look at them, we live with him. We still live with him. He's part of our lives every day, so I have to say that I feel very, very strong. When asked if she would ever consider getting back into the dating game, Dion shared that she hadn't made up her mind on that decision quite yet.
If I do, that would be great. If I don't, that would be great because I'm still in love.
Either way, love is certainly not lacking in her life, she went on to say. Right this second, love is so big right now in my life, with my kids, with life itself. I'm not thinking about a relationship and falling in love again. Check out one of our newest videos right here. Plus, even more list videos about your favorite celebrities are coming soon. Subscribe to our YouTube channel and hit the bell so you don't miss a single one.